Good morning, sunshine. Good morning. So let's have a conversation. Sorry, you guys, I'm starting to go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, sunshines. Good morning. So let's kind of have a little quick conversation. So I want to know, who do you guys think should pay on the first date? Should it be him paying on the first date, or should it be you paying on the first date, or should it be split in half, 50-50? I personally think that I personally would pay for myself on the first date, right? Because I just think that. So good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's Wednesday is going good. Let's have a topic of conversation. Let's just chop it up a little bit. You know. Hey. I woke up in such a good mood this morning, you guys. As always. Morning. Sunshine. Hi. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning. So let's chop it up for just a little second. Who do you guys think should be on the first date? Should it be him? Should it be you? Or should it be both parties? I know you guys kind of just come on in here. Y'all could kind of chop it up with the conversation a little bit. I want to know, how does everybody feel? I mean, I think first dates are important. I think that they are needed. And I think that they are, well deserved sometimes. Sometimes a girl and a guy and a girl just needs, just time to themselves. That's all. I think that when you have a first date, it could be, it could be nervous. Be nervous, you want to make sure that your dress is right, or your skirt is right, or just anything. My mom's TV is extremely loud. But for me personally, I would pay for myself on the first date. I would either pay for myself on the first date, or I would tell him, well, let's split it. Since we both came, I would split it. And I would even like drive myself to the destination, just because you just never know. I don't know, maybe, do y'all think that that's, I don't see nothing wrong with the woman paying for herself. I mean, there's been a lot of debate. Oh, a woman shouldn't pay for herself on the first date, but I don't see nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it? And I'm not saying that a gentleman can't pay if he wants to pay, of course. If he wants to pay, that's fine. But I think that I would also, make very clear of, hey, you are paying for the first date, but please don't expect anything from out of this, because that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're gonna do on the first date. Good morning. I would make it clear, hey, that's not what we're doing on the first date, because So I will be like, whoa, wait a minute, stop. Like, I would just want to make sure that I have clarification. I think for me, having conversation and having clarification about I guess for me now, I would want to have an understanding of what the date is going to consist of, and what do you expect, and what I hope you don't expect. Because you are not getting nothing out from me the first date. Don't think, a kiss, maybe that's fine. Maybe a little peck, but nothing more than that. Depending on, the date, the energy, the aura, and everything else. Just sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. Just go with it. Let's go with it a little bit. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So what do you guys think? who should pay on the first date? Should you pay on the first date? Should you pay on the first date? Or should it be equal? I personally, okay, so I would pay for myself, right? Or I would say, hey, you know, if you want to split it in half, we can. But I would personally, and I would bring myself, and I would have a talk with the gentleman just to be on the safe side, you guys. Though you say you okay, and you know there are some guys out there that, you know, are gentlemen and that will pay for their first date. But it's just, I think for a woman, it's just her not wanting a man to expect something from her. Hi, Maddie. I guess it's just, I think for a woman, I think it's kind of nervous because you never know what a guy was going to say. Like, I would never want to go out with a man and then he says, hey, well, you know, you coming back to my room tonight. I wouldn't want that. So that's why I would have a one-on-one conversation and I would say, hey, you know, this is what I hope you don't expect from this date because, you know, I'm just getting to know you. You know, I'm not going to move like that. I would have a conversation. And again, even if he does get mad after that, there was clarification, there was an understanding. So however you feel at that moment in time, respectfully speaking, that would be on you, not her. If you take him to the date, then you. But if you take you to the date, then him. Wait. What's the yes this? I'm scared of him. So I feel like, well, Maddie, I hope you're good. I hope you're okay. I definitely wouldn't mind paying for myself. I remember the last person that I wanted to go somewhere with even told me and I said, hey, now I could pay for myself. He was like, he said, you sound crazy. I was like, no, you know, I don't think I sound crazy. I think communication and understanding are just very important on a date because you want to make sure that, you know, nobody is expecting anything, or even if you would say, okay, you know, you can pay and I can cash out you back. But me personally, I will always tell, you know, my son, have money, you know, just in case, you know, or whatever the case may be. And I will always say, you know, don't expect a woman to do something for you because a person doesn't have to do something for you. They can choose to do it, but they don't have to do it. And I feel like that's the difference between someone that's genuine. They'll just do it. Someone that want to talk about it, they're going to ask. Like, you know, if somebody says, hey, you know, I'm hungry. And if I'm like, oh, you know, since I'm on about, you know, what would you like to eat? But I'm not going to be like, oh my goodness, you know, you keep saying you're hungry, so what do you want? Like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to ask you, you know, you good, you need something, what is it that you need? You know, how can I help you? And again, I do believe that when you go on a first date, it's cool to be like, oh, you know, I'm going on a date with this guy, you know, just for safety reasons. And even for him, you know, it's cool for him to say it, just in case for safety reasons. But I would not keep that private. I would tell, you know, where I'm going and who the guy is and things of that nature. You know, again, safety reasons on both ends, because women are crazy. Sometimes women can be crazier than a man. So, ladies, it's okay for him to tell where it's okay for him to tell where he's going to. Oh, that's what you said. I'm pretty sure someone. I mean, I personally would do that. I would ask my man, hey, you know, why don't you let me take you out? You know, why don't you let me take you somewhere? You know, why don't you let me do something for you? You know, since you always doing something, I would totally do that. I think that is awesome. To be honest with you guys, I think that's pretty awesome that you can have that type of relationship. I would totally do something like that. But for me, right, I personally believe in 50-50. I would not expect the man to pay all the bills. I would not expect the man to do everything by himself, or I would not expect him to just go out there and you know, bring home the bacon and then I just sit there and look pretty. Like, no, you know, I need to be on my grind as well, or, you know, doing something, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, cooking and cleaning, and, you know, I need to be doing something. Because, baby, everybody ages and it don't look good forever. The wrinkles gonna start coming in. Them wrinkles gonna start coming in. These boobs gonna start dropping. Okay? Like, no. I'm so petty. And I think that for me, I would rather look at a person's, you know, heart, you know, the way they move, the way they think, you know, just things of that nature. Not how you look. How you look, I don't really care about how somebody looks. It's just, I just don't care about it anymore. Like, looks to me are not important. It just depends on you as a person and, you know, your heart and how big it is, and if you're family orientated. Things of that nature to me would be way more important. So I think that's just my message to everybody, which is don't look outside, you know, you should look on the inside. Because there are some really fine men out there who will leave you in the dust. And then there are some men that just have a really amazing personality, and you may not think that these men look good. I tell people all the time, everybody has their own, you know, thing pertaining to looks and what you like and what you don't like, and that's fine. You know, I would never tell somebody, be with someone who you don't think is attractive to you. I think everybody is beautiful. I think every man is a king, and I think that every woman is a queen. But, you know, it depends on how you treat me as a person. You know, are you respectful? You know, are you taking me places? You know, are you doing things with me? You know, the things that I'm doing for you, are you doing in return? You know, I just think that those are positive things for me. You know, I say don't look at the negative. You know, look at what this person is doing for you. You know, and don't bring nobody into your relationship because it's gonna fall. So, you know, if there's an issue and you guys are having, let you guys have this issue. You know, not you, your friends, and him, and her, and this and that. So let me tell you something. From experience, putting people in your business is extremely hard to get them the hell out of them, okay? Because they know more than you do. You be like, well, wait a minute. I know I ain't tell you all that. Oh, God, I can't. So. Oh, my goodness. I would be like, wait, what in the heck? Like, how did you know that? I didn't even know that. Like, how did you know before I do? They're like, yeah, I know about him, or I know about her. You'd be like, wait a minute. Did I just introduce you to this person? Seriously, because I'm telling you, listen, from my learning experience, that was a learning experience that I needed. Oh my goodness, that was an experience that I needed to learn. I tell people on here all the time, I am not ashamed to admit my wrongs, or, you know, or things that I've learned from, you know, things I've done. You know, I can look back at it, and you know how some people say, oh, you know, you'll be able to look back at this and laugh. In that moment, it ain't funny. It's not funny. But when you look at it, you know, years from now or a few weeks from now, you're like, wait a darn minute. Now, I know good and well I should not have done that. Or I should not have said that. Listen, baby, every relationship is a lesson. And every person in your life may not always be a blessing. But I tell you one thing, it will sure enough let you see. You know, people will let you see who they are. And sometimes, you know, again, you don't even got to say nothing. You know what I mean? You could just sit there and say nothing. And they will show you who they are. And not even realize that they're doing it. Because just like I tell my son, and I tell you guys all the time, if you listen to a person, and if you just watch their actions, they'll show you who they are. And you won't even have to ask, because everything that you want to know, they'll show you or they'll tell you. I tell people all the time, you can't hide who you are for long. Because that side of you has to come out. You can't hide, you know, if you are a negative person. You can't hide if you are a obnoxious, rude, ignorant person. That side of you has to come out, because you can't tame that forever, because it's just who you are. So it's gonna be foreseeable. You know, you may think that you're able to kind of, you know, tame it. Baby, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. And when it come out, they're gonna be like, oh hell no, I got to go. They're gonna be like, no, I tell people, be you. You know, just be you. I always say, don't fake the funk, because when you fake the funk, you can't fake it for long. Because it's just going to be itching to come out. It's just going to be itching. It's going to have to come out. You're going to be like, dang. Okay, I can't sit here and keep trying to play an action on, because this is just who I am. Just be who you are. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that everybody is a different person around different people. People used to say, or if you're not the same, I don't want to rock with you like that. I don't believe that you can be the same person around everybody. I don't believe you can be the same as a woman with your man as you can be with your mom when it's your daughter or your dad, or it's not the same as if you were your child from when you are with like your mom. It's different. There's levels. When with your man you're more, seductive and cute and playful, which is cool. When you with your mom, you just want to be a daughter, sit, don't want to do anything. Just want to be a kid, okay? When with your mom, even when you're older. Because when I get my mom, I bring my own papers. You want to pay for it, because y'all don't heard me ask my mom before. Or when you are with your son, or your daughter, you gotta be more affirmative. You have to be more stern. You know what I mean? So there's differences that you have to be around different people. So that's how I look at it. I don't know how everybody's looks at it, but that's how I look at it. I'm gonna go, you guys, because I do have to go get ready to ready to go get my brakes looked at, because I gotta get my brakes looked at in my car. Like I told y'all that before, because I'm not trying to not have my brakes working. So I gotta go. But yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a woman paying first, opening first date. And like, I've heard a lot of women want a man to get their nails done, get their eyebrows done, get their what you call it, their fingernails, their feet, their eyelashes, their hair, their eyebrows. Like, I've seen some things and they're like, oh well, if you're not gonna do all these things, then why are you asking me out? Well, baby, didn't he ask you out? So whatever else you need to do after that, honey, I'm sure you can do it by yourself. Like, okay, for instance, I'm using myself. Y'all know how I am, right? The only thing I don't do is my hair. I would love to know how to braid my own hair, because I think that will save me a lot of money. But besides that, I do my own eyebrows, my own facial, my own feet, my own fingernails. I do my body. I do not do makeup. I do not do the fake eyelashes. I did the fingernails one time that y'all seen on here when I was in West Bumble, somewhere dumbass far. Them things didn't even last in my fingers. I was like, I tried it, couldn't do it. I was like, it's not for me. And instead of me, saying, oh goodness, I wouldn't do something like that. I tried it, and it wasn't for me. But I tried, I tried to see if I could, do it to be a little bit more girly. But I was like, no, this just isn't for me. It's not for me, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Because every woman has their thing, and every man, just like how some women have like something called an ick that they say nowadays. It's like, oh, well, damn, you might as well come through the daggone stairs. That's my baby. You coming in? Yes. Do you have clothes on?
No.
What, you naked?
Yeah. Where's the shirt? I mean pants.
Well, baby, you could put on your shorts for right now.
I don't want no shorts.
Well, I'm about to go get my bracelet. That, are you coming?
Sure.
Okay.
So should I put on shorts?
No, you can put on your pants. That's inside the bag, baby.
There's no pants. I check.
Okay, give mommy 1 second. I'm coming, okay? Did you lotion your body? No, what I said because of what you did, okay? This is when I'm going to be a mom, and I'm going to be very stern right now. So the answer is no, because you can't sit up here and be a Weisenheimer, understand? Thank you. Perfect example. Perfect example right there, okay? You know what I'm saying? That'd be real affirmative. Very affirmative. Jeez Louise, you guys. Jeez Louise. My son he said something earlier under his breath. I didn't catch what he said, but I knew he said something. So I said, repeat what you said, please, because I didn't hear what you said. And I knew what he said was slick, okay? I said, so repeat what you said. Oh, no, that's okay. Well, since you want to be a little Weisenheimer, I was going to bring you to the park, but now you're going to sit here and read books and practice your reading and your writing. That's what you're going to do today, okay? So I love you guys. Have an amazing Wednesday. I'm going to go because I have to actually go get my bracelet that in my car, because I'm not trying to screw. Like, no thank you. We don't do none of that. We want everybody safe on the road and safe on the streets. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. I love you. Because that's my mom, and it sounds like she's on.